At the end of the day, I'm a Muslim. So I'm going to tell you what we believe our purpose is, and that is to worship the Creator. To recognize who the Creator is, to recognize that He has given us all that we see. Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to be filmed, it's not a problem. Yeah. But fair enough. But so we say, our purpose is to worship the Creator. At the end of the day, He gave us sight, He gave us hearing, He gave us the ability to speak, to feel, to touch, to taste. All the things that we take for granted. Our breath, when we breathe, we do it involuntary, and we take it for granted, knowing that one day we're going to stop breathing. So that is our purpose. And when we worship the Creator, at the end of the day, the Creator, in of Himself, He doesn't need us. We need Him, and He is the one that provided us the guidance in the form of the Quran, as for all of mankind today.
Sonia, you know more about this than I do, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, okay,
she knows more about this.
All right, that's good.
But but the Quran is not. It's not stories. It contains stories of the nations that have passed before us, the people that have passed before us, what their mistakes were. But at the end of the day, the Quran is there as a guidance for us to tell us our purpose, to help us progress in not only this world, but how to achieve the hereafter, which is what's going to happen after we die. That's one of the big questions that we tend to ask ourselves. What happens after death? The Quran answers that question. And it doesn't ask it, and it doesn't require you to believe just like that. It asks you to reflect, to ponder, to use your intellect, to seek evidence of the Creator, to seek evidence of this book in of itself, and the claim that it makes to be from the Creator. It asks you to test it. So we are not asking you to have blind faith in Allah, in the Prophet Muhammad. We are asking you to test it, and this is what the Quran leads you to. The first verse that was revealed to us from this was Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord who created. So the one who created us, read in His name. Educate yourself. So that's what the Quran is, and it will give you the knowledge for your guidance in this world, and to circumnavigate this world, to solve all your problems, and I mean it, all your problems. There is nothing left out, whether it's societal, familial, business, economic, psychology, you name it. Any field that you think of, it will respond to that. As well as the psychology of man, those who are sincere, those who are insincere, those who are unsure. How do you deal with the people who are unsure? So all of this stuff is covered in those 600 pages. So it's worth a read.
I don't know if agnostic means uncertain. It's more not easily persuaded.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, because the thing is...
So I would take the best bits of all sorts of faiths and say they're excellent, you know what I mean? And I think that's where I would go, I'm not going to be persuaded for a particular faith ever, per se, except a collective thought about humans, how we behave, how we conduct ourselves, and that's more important to me than having a particular denomination of a faith, so seeing people who believe in things is very important.
You're right.
We need to believe in things, otherwise we haven't got a meaningful purpose, like you say.
Okay.
But to believe in things is you can believe in, the range. And I prefer that notion.
But the
world's a big place.
What I would say to that, as I mentioned, the Quran, it already gives you that. It gives you the breadth of everything that you will ever experience in this world. Not just yourself, but mankind as a whole. So if you're looking for something which will give you a holistic understanding of belief, all right? Because the Quran speaks about those who believed in other gods. In fact, there has never been a point in time where man did not believe in God. Whether it was a monotheistic God, whether it was a pagan God. Yeah? The concept of atheism or agnosticism is a concept that has been developed by those who reject God. Not because they don't believe He exists. That's key. It is because they simply choose to reject the concept of a creator, knowing that there must be a creator. And this is why when you hear the arguments of the atheist or the agnostic, it sort of falls on itself. Because you cannot logically comprehend the concept of a world without a creator. That's not something that you can comprehend. No?
Chaos rules.
No.
Chaos rules.
There is
a million bazillion happy coincidences.
That's actually not. It's not true, because random. Even the concept of randomness. The only reason we refer to it as random is simply because we don't understand the process. But for example, if you threw a dice, and you knew all the variables, you could tell, you would be able to know what that dice will land on if you knew all the variables. We call it random because we don't know the variables. So the concept of randomness in of itself, the concept of chaos, is a non-starter. Because even the universe...
Well, it's so fine-tuned, it's so complex, and so quantum, potentially. You go like real diggy.
Yeah, you can even go to the
and
quantum
it gets
level.
So massive as well. So you got like...
But everything has a law. Everything has an order.
Everything has a law that's associated with it also.
Cause and effect. There is always that. So this is why...
We call cause the creator.
Yeah, but you could call it, to be fair, physics and nature.
Yeah, but who creates the laws? Because physics and laws, physics is based upon laws.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could be. I'm not saying it is. Very clever chemistry, physics, combining the things that tend to the...
Yeah, but what I'm...
complex, you know.
Sure, but as a materialist, presumably people who reject the theism, right, ultimate reality of theism, fall back on materialism, right? But anything material must have a cause. It's an eternal law of science, cause and effect.
Made in the start.
Exactly. So you can chase it back as far as you want, but at some point you meet the uncreated, which must be the cause of creation.
But
there's a Big Bang.
No, but even the Big Bang. What sparked the Big Bang? What,
Can you tell me?
God.
the creator. The creator. No.
Can you give us a better definition?
Well, I know. So I saw this speech recently where a mathematician, and he was a cleric, I think, and he basically sat in a room for about 3 years and unwound space-time completely. So, like, took time back to the very origins of the Big Bang. It worked out it came from the singularity, and he proved all the theories, Einstein, wherever he goes. If you look at the spirals, and you know where they're travelling to where they came from, it all comes back.
To a singularity. That's monotheism.
Well, it's where it came from. That
It
one
has
point.
to come from.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So no, that's okay. But this is why I'm saying that atheism or agnosticism, in terms of intellectual argumentation, there is a non-starter, and this is why I say that. And at the end of the day, I'm drawing all of this from the Quran, right? And the Quran tells us, it says, "Badi'u samawati wal ard," yeah, the originator of the heavens and the earth. This is who Allah is. So He is the originator of all that you see and experience.
including us.
Yeah, including us, okay? And it gives you the origin of mankind, right? Something that actually makes sense. Mankind is a creation like all creation. It is not a development over random processes, which we know randomness doesn't actually exist. And even if you...
Random, but it is chaotic.
No.
It is.
What is chaos? If everything that's...
chaotic. The processes are chaotic. There are many species on the planet that evolved to excellent condition and died because of some...
Well, that's not chaos.
Event, you know.
That is a balance.
It all fits.
There is a balance.
It's amazing.
There might be.
Anything that has happened throughout history has created a balance, right? And this is what is also mentioned in the Quran. Throughout history, Allah has created the balance. So do not upset the balance. This is what it is, and this is why even today, if you look today, forget about history. If we look today, I work in the construction industry, and we always talk about sustainability, ensuring that the materials that we use do not upset the balance of ecology, of the natural resources, right? But I already know this because it's mentioned in the Quran. Allah has created everything in a balance, so do not upset the balance.
We should all be doing that, shouldn't we?
No, of course not.
We should all be.
We should always be keeping the balance. Hence why anything naturalistic, even when you look at natural disasters, they always create something after it's been destroyed. There is always new life after death has been taken. It always shifts the balance.
Nothing disappears, it just changes.
Exactly, yeah? So, you know, and again, who controls all of this? I mean, if it truly is chaos, and it truly is a product of randomness, we would see an upset in the balance. And I'll tell you where the true chaos would actually lie, is if there was more than one creator. If there was more than one creator who had the ability to do whatever it willed, then you would see chaos. Because one creator would be sovereign and I want the leaves red, and the other one wants the leaves green. You ain't got a clue what's gonna happen. That's when you would see chaos, but you don't see chaos. You see control, order, balance.
Big on control.
No, but at the end of the day, in order for you to create, when you create a product, you control what it does. right? You control its function, you control its processes. It has commands, right? It's just natural to have control over something, you know. Us as men, with our egos and everything, we like to have control. So that's just it's just part of nature that you have to have control over things.
Just ask you one question, because I used to be an atheist, and the thing that was the biggest problem in my life from being an atheist is the fact of good and evil. How do I navigate this person who's controlled by his inclinations through complex moral choices of good and evil, objective good and evil? So how would you, as an atheist, navigate your choices when some people think evil is good and good is evil? How do you determine your choices beyond your inclination?
I think we're all, I guess, born to this world without knowing particular moral compasses, but we learn them pretty quickly through the people around us.
Could you explain by the people around? Because you could be in amongst evil people,
Yeah, that's
and then
true. But
you
then
might be
I
like an
think
Inca or an Aztec.
let's say children are born innocent, right? Children are born innocent. But most of society, I think, we're surrounded by good people.
I just want him to get to God
The
first.
majority of people are good, I think.
Okay.
You know, not everyone, but we learn from the best examples we see, don't we? We learn from the
Based
good
on our
conduct we see.
inclination.
The things that make us happy are when we get good connects with people,
That's
good
interesting.
people, etc.
Happy is good. Things that make you happy are good.
They're good but that's not
I
criteria.
thought pornography made me happy.
Yeah,
I thought alcohol made me happy. I thought lying made me happy if it achieved my ends. But I now look through the God lens and say that was objectively wrong. And I'm interested, how does an
You had
atheist...
to learn that, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but Colin, the thing is that is a conversation that, you know, it's not suited right now because we can't speak about morality when we haven't even got to the point of God.
Well, I'm thinking more
That's
the
a long
absence of
conversation.
morality would lead you to the fact there must be. But no, go on, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, so you have to go. No problem.
Good
Look,
chat, man.
it's a pleasure to meet you. All right.
Likewise, yeah.
Thank you very much for meeting you. Have a read of the Quran, and you'll hopefully you find it. You're Muslim, okay? Okay. Well, inshallah, give him da'wah.
But I don't force anyone. Like everyone's free.
Oh, of course. We just invite to Islam. So inshallah, give him some da'wah. Okay?
But I'm not keen on being on camera.
But you should have said so.
We just came and did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, if you don't want to be filmed, it's not a problem. Okay? So we don't force anyone to be filmed.
What kind of society are you part from? Are you part from like an organization?
No. I just come here and I give da'wah.
That's the first time I've come here, so I just
Okay.
wanted to see how it works.
No, most of the Muslims that come here to give da'wah, they're not part of any organization. They
I
are.
guess everyone comes from like a group of...
No, we don't. We actually we become acquainted with one another, and then we become friends, and then we hang out after Speaker's Corner. We go have a meal. But
Because we have lots of technology. We have the mic and the camera.
look, none of these people are affiliated with me, but it's good because at the end of the day, what we say here and the da'wah we give here, if we can show it to the world, then other people might benefit. So as much as and it's not edited. So as much as we speak to the people here and try to give them da'wah, what we say to them, it could resonate with someone else. So inshallah, this is the goal, and may Allah make it successful.
I'm just wondering how my image is going to be used because it will be recorded.
We'll blur your face. I'll speak to the cameraman and make sure your face is blurred. Okay? No problem. So. Bye. Okay, Allah. No problem.
I remember you from way back when you had no hair. You were baldy, weren't you?
That's correct.
Yeah. But how's life treating you?
Life is good.
I'm pleased.
That's
No, I
really
see you every now and again on the videos and things like that. And my desire at the moment is I want to have a discussion with a Muslim that, how's the best way to say it, is different to how most discussions are. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. I want to be able to enjoy a polite conversation with you and hear what you have to say over any subjects and things. It's important for me as a Christian and you as a Muslim to re-establish that there is a corner in this corner where we're able to, I want to say to you,